Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Unstoppable Pursuit podcast, where we're pushing the limits in business, life, and health. This is episode 13, and today we're talking about life. I'm Brian Benson, and this guy next to me eats donuts in his tighty whities, Mike Stahl. He's going to read from his book, Dominate Your Day. You can check it out at michaelstahl.com. Also, make sure you please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. We are on iTunes. We would be very grateful for it. Thanks for joining.
What's up, everyone? Promise yourself right now in this very moment to live before you die, live in the moment, live passionately, live fiercely, live happily, live loudly, live with no regrets, live and breathe hard work, live like there is no tomorrow, live from the minute you wake up to the minute you fall asleep, live a life that breathes life into others around you.
I love that, man. And those are the points that we're going to be talking about today. It's so important. It's, there's a lot of people walking around on this planet, and we've said it once and we'll say it again, that are just dead, they aren't living, and they aren't enjoying it. They aren't living in the moment. They aren't seizing the day. Carpe diem. Let's go through these points, Mike. Let's talk about this, man.
All right, so basically what we're starting off with is that, I wrote down on our whiteboard that life is made up between your struggles and your victories. Like, of course, we want to achieve all these goals, but those goals don't necessarily define our life. It's really what happens in between. So we came up with 11 points that we want you guys who are listening or watching to focus on and try to apply on a daily basis so that you can live life to the fullest. So the first one that we're going to talk about, and we're kind of freelancing this today. Mm-hmm. We mentioned this before the podcast so that we're really truly in the moment when we bring these up so that it's a real answer, it's raw, it's truthful. So Brian, the first one is live before you die. What does that mean to you?
What that means to me, Mike, live before you die. The good news is, and also the unfortunate news, but we're all going to die one day. So there's a 1-to-1 chance that's going to happen.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but so that really means to me that whenever there's an opportunity, you need to step into the batter's box and swing. I think that you don't really ever regret or want to have regrets or feel that you didn't do everything that you've ever imagined and wanted to do. I get there's a lot of things that you need to do in your life, but at least do the things that you are super passionate about. Give it a try. I remember I was at one point I thought I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and I got up on stage twice, totally bombed, wasn't that funny. But you know what? That to me was living. That to me was you don't want to watch it. It's on my Facebook. I don't know. But that to me was going and doing something and just living. You felt alive at that moment when I was on that stage. It was fear, emotion, anxiety, stress, love, happiness. It was just oh my gosh, this is living, man. It was just sort of on the edge. What about you, man?
I think that it's worth repeating. In our last segment, I talked about how someday I want to stand before God and say, listen, I've used everything that you've blessed me with to the best of my ability, and I'm exhausted. I'm at the end here, And in regards to what you said, when you're truly living, it's almost kind of an outer body experience because you're uncomfortable. You're definitely not in your comfort zone. You're almost not even aware of what's going on around you because you're so in the moment of what you're doing. So as a comedian, if you're doing that, literally you're losing a sense of literally life because you're so caught up in that moment. So I think it's very important to kind of you're kind of letting everything go. And when I see live before you die, I tell myself I want to say yes way more than I say no to different experiences throughout my life. Okay.
Yeah. You want to make sure you tried all the things that you don't want to end up, on your deathbed being why didn't I try, or having a regret, or like you said, you just want to almost feel exhausted.
Yeah. And I saw a clip on TV the other day too, and they interviewed a bunch of elderly people that were literally on their deathbed, and majority of them, if not all of them, they did not once bring up the things that they regretted doing. They brought up the things that they didn't do, that they wish they would have. So if that doesn't strike a chord with you, I don't know what would in regards to truly living before you die.
Yeah, I think that's great. So the next one is live in the moment. We get out of the moment too many times, don't we?
Yes.
We kind of forget. Like, for me, and you know, I'll get a little bit sentimental here, but this podcast with me and what Mike and I have created together, us being here, is like, where's Flat Brian? Get him in here.
For those that are listening, you can't see us right now. We're having a moment.
We are having a real moment. And but what this has done, it really is I live in the moment when I'm here. This is that, like, I'm taking a moment to stop and smell the roses, like being on this show, providing value, reaching out to our fan base, reaching out to others, like just spending time with Mike, talking about things that I'm so insanely passionate about, is living in the moment. It's just like, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm happy.
Yeah. And I'm going to quote my mom, too, because she said I'm always guilty of that. I don't stop to smell the roses along my journey. Like, again, being motivated sometimes is a gift and a curse if you don't channel it in the correct way, you know? And a friend once told me, too, that it's important to live in the moment because once it's passed, you never get that back. Because, again, we can't manage time. We can only manage what we do, like Brian's famous quote, within that time, you know, personal management. So it's very important to live in the moment because, again, you don't want the end of your life to come and be like, damn, I achieved all these goals and stuff, but I really don't have any, like, experiences or memories to talk about on that journey.
Yeah, I agree. You have to take the time. And, you know, living in the moment also means, like, spending time with the people that you care about most in your life, you know, and, like, remembering those times. Like, I still remember so many times from high school and from college and so many of those just awesome moments. And then when you get back with your friends and stuff and meet back up, you're like, oh, remember that time? Yeah. Those are the moments that you need to remember, live in, and just, like, care about, you know? And that way they become these great memories that you and your friends will always cherish for the rest of your lives.
Exactly. And you have content, you know, you have content to go back to. Like, when you meet up with your friends, you have things to talk about, things to reflect on. Like, if you're just defining your life from goal to goal, then you're truly missing out. And again, you and I are very guilty of this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everything that we talk about on this podcast, I mean, this is just as much for us as it is about you guys listening and watching, because when we go over this stuff, it's a good reminder to me of I need to maybe slow down, you know, in certain areas of my life and learn to be more in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So the next one is live passionately. Talk to me about passion, Mike. I need to feel it, brother.
I think that honestly, you need to find your purpose in life, and that means finding your passion in life. Because if you are not passionate about anything, again, it goes back to the last segment of you being a walking zombie. You're not really making an impact. You're not really leaving any sort of legacy. So, you know, finding something you're passionate about, like for me, like sometimes I think, man, I love health and wellness, but like I'm an animal lover too. And I think that sometimes it would be cool to like go and work at the zoo, as crazy as that sounds, and like literally like be handling animals all day long. Like that's my passion. That would bring me happiness. What I do now brings me happiness too, but you really need to find what your passion is, because then again, it's never going to feel like work. You're never going to think, oh gosh, I can't wait for the weekend. You're going to think, damn, like I'm ready for Monday because I want to put my feet on the ground and I want to pursue my passion.
Yeah, I didn't know you were an animal lover. What's your favorite animal?
I just, you know, I grew up around animals. I love dogs. I mean, I grew up around.
You have a dog right now?
No, we don't have a dog, but I grew up around like big dogs, like golden retrievers, German shepherds. I mean, my mother, and if you're not an animal lover, then you'll probably take this personal and probably stop listening to our podcast. But my mother always told me to stay clear of people that are not animal lovers. She said if they're like mean towards an animal or something, or they just hate animals, then you're kind of questionable, because I mean, an animal's sole purpose is to love their owner. Yeah. So that's why I'm passionate about animals.
No. I think that's great, man. And little side comment on Mike. He's a softie on the inside. Who would have thought? You know, I agree. You know, living passionately is. I think that always having that thing that you really, really do care about, like you said, an animal lover, and if you're like in a job that isn't, you know, fulfilling you, or you're not happy with certain things, but like have that hobby, have that thing to, sometimes it's helpful to like do on the weekends, or just have a passion project. Like Mike and I always talk about this, and this is me coming back to this podcast because I love it so much. I have so much fun on here. I'm passionate about personal development, and I'm passionate about getting on video, and I'm passionate about doing this. And to me, like, this is living passionately because I get to do this every Thursday. I think, how freaking lucky am I that I've been so blessed to be able to do this on a weekly basis, and I get to come in here with one of my best friends, and we just get to talk about helping people and adding value. Like, that is passion for me.
Just two dudes bonded in a non-weird way.
Yes, just two dudes and a mic. That's all I'm saying. Not this mic, and Flat Brian's here too. Hey, Kevin Love's here, Mo Williams here.
Yeah, we got everybody.
We're getting crazy.
We got everybody.
We got a whole basketball team. You, me, Flat Brian, Kevin Love, and Mo Williams.
I know, I'm running the point.
All right.
All right.
Center.
So next point is to live fiercely. To live fiercely during your life, Brian. What does that make you think of?
You know, that means to put as much effort into things that you can, to be fierce about the things that you are passionate about and being in the moment and things. It's like really diving in as hard as possible and with 2 feet in. Sometimes it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but you got to go fierce. You got to be strong. You got to love it, you know? It's like you just got to go as hard as you possibly can into the things that you love. You got to be fierce. You got to want it, you know? You got to you got to be like the animal, and you has to come out. Like, I really believe, like, well, everybody knows, if you know me, I'm a huge lion lover. I love lions. That's my animal. And
my dog's kind of weak compared to your lion. I'm embarrassed about that. Brian, I confided in you in private about that.
Mike's like, I like Chihuahuas.
Yeah. I like Yorkies. Brian comes out with a lion. Are you freaking serious?
I love lions, man. But I always believe I'm the lion. Like, I'm fierce about things that I care about and that I want in my life. That's what I think it means for me.
Well, I'll tell you, I certainly don't like sheep. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Lion, not sheep. Always remember that, okay? For me, I think tenacity, I have written down in my notes, tenacity is contagious. And tenacity is like having an edge and having some spunk to you. Like, I would describe you as having tenacity because you have an edge to you. Like, you are pretty relentless, you're very intense, there's a slight edge to you, and you're go, go, go. Like, I think having tenacity is like kind of having that eye of the tiger, you know, where you have that killer instinct and you're willing to put in the work, and having that tenacity, because the difference between someone having tenacity and someone just, you know, being like a walking zombie, I mean, that's a huge difference. The person that has tenacity is going to get things done.
Yeah, exactly. Be fierce about the things, you know? All right, let's dive into the next one is live happily.
This is...
Jeepers, criminy, Mike, what is happiness?
I know. This is actually this is probably one of the most important ones, and I think the point for me, and you may feel a little differently about this, is, you know, everyone kind of defines happiness a little differently. You know, maybe happiness to you is having 10 different cars that you get to choose whatever car you're going to drive during the day. Or maybe happiness is you having a wife and 3 kids and having a stable job. So I can't sit here and define happiness for the people that are watching or listening. You know, like, you need to find your own happiness. And again, it's not necessarily determined just by your financial status or how many cars you have or how big your house is. Now, if you want all those things, that's awesome, but those things could be stripped away, and you need to make sure that your happiness is based on something that is rooted very deeply. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think everything in life starts with happiness. If you are happy with who you are as a person, if you feel fulfilled and super happy about just the person that you are, like, take material things away, take relationships away, take all the other stuff away, like, but just be happy with you first, and then you can go and do, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy. Yeah, you know, and that's what I really think that, Mike. I really believe that, and I agree with you. You can't say that we can't define other people's happiness, but I just think that it really starts with happiness. Once you're happy, then you can attack anything you want in life. You can attack, your relationships are going to be better because you're happy as a person. You're going to go into the job that you want because you're happy with who you are. Like, I guess maybe I'm bringing, self-happiness as everything, but I just truly believe that. I think if you're happy as a person with the person that you are and what you stand for and your values, then the world is your oyster after that.
Yeah, and I think based off of what you just said, really, happiness is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to sit here and define happiness for those that are watching or listening, but I will say that the common denominator that we all have in common is that it is a choice. It's not based off your circumstances, which we talked before. It's not based off of the way other people are acting. You know what I mean? It's a choice, and it's something that you need to own every day that you wake up.
Yeah, totally. I love it. All right, let's go to the next one, which is live loudly. Hello!
I think that living loudly, a lot of people are reserved, and a lot of people are afraid to maybe go against the grain or stand out, or whatever, or maybe receive acknowledgement or anything. But I think living loudly doesn't mean that you're being obnoxious. I just think that it means that you're doing things that are disruptive in a good way. Like you've always said, if you can disrupt your particular industry, then you're doing something pretty special. People are talking, things are getting loud, there's chatter, like maybe people are talking negatively about you, which could happen. Maybe there's some positive chatter, but the point is that people are talking. You are living loudly. You are doing action, you are taking action and executing it in a way that is causing some sort of a stir-up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it kind of correlates. If you are super happy with who you are, then go out there and express yourself. Try things. Push yourself out there to the world. Dress how you want. Act how you want. This is your life at the end of the day. And you know what? It's okay to live loudly every so often. Like you said, don't be obnoxious, but live out loud. Live like you're just, the world is a blank canvas, and you can paint it with black and gray, or you can paint it with neon greens and whatever. It's just live out loud and express yourself and enjoy that person that you are every day.
Yeah, we're not talking just verbally. I don't want you guys to think that we're saying it's all verbal, but like what you said, like the way you dress, like I don't think you should really dress based off of what you think other people are going to think. Like if you want to wear a neon green shirt and yellow pants or something like that, then that's you living loudly. That's you being yourself. That's you embracing your individuality. Go out and do that. That's living loudly. The next point, we kind of talked a little bit about this, but really you can't talk too much about it, is living with no regrets in life.
No regrets, man. My older brother said this, and I don't know if he got it from somewhere, where he got it, but it's something that has always stuck with me ever since he told me back in, I think it was my freshman year in college, but he just told me, not that he was much older he's 2 years older than me, but he just looked at me one day, I don't know what we were just hanging out, and he said, live fast, regret nothing. And to me, I was like, I just turned 30, like where the heck did time go, So don't have any regrets. I mean, just you do not want to wake up one day saying, procrastinating on things that you would do, tomorrow or whatever, and just keep procrastinating and pushing things away. Like, don't regret, like, approach the woman at the bar or the coffee shop that you've always wanted to, or apply to that place that you've always wanted to work, Just, life moves so quickly. I mean, we're already in our 30s. And I'm not saying we're old, and I don't think anybody's old until they die, basically. But you know what I'm saying? Because look, Colonel Sanders started Kentucky Fried Chicken at 65. He just was like, but that's no regrets right there. You know what? This guy, he was getting his, his Social Security. He took that check and he said, I have this chicken recipe. I'm going to start it, and he started a business. But he had no regrets. I don't think. What if he just would have said, you know what, this chicken recipe is whatever, maybe I'll just make it for my family and I don't take the risk. That to me was like, that's no regrets, bro.
Yeah, and Gary Vaynerchuk, he even said too that, you know, people that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, he highly encourages them to take action and go after what it is they want in life, because, you know, you will get to the point in time where you are at the end of your life and you will regret that. You know, I'm all about the quotes today, so I just thought of a quote when you were talking, and it says, I really regret that workout, said no one ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, say yes to things that you would typically say no to. Not that would put you in harm or that would make you make bad decisions. You know the difference between that. But, you know, if someone says, oh, I'd like you to come speak here, no, instead of saying, no, I'm deathly afraid, say, no, I'll do it right away. Say, yes, I'll do it. Or, you know, you're feeling lazy, I'm not going to go and work out. Yes, you are. You're going to go and work out. Like, you're not going to regret this stuff. Like, some of it may not work out, okay, quote unquote a failure, but it's more so a learning lesson. You're not going to regret that, because you're going to take that learning lesson and you're going to apply it to the things that you do down the road. So, you know, let's say you're miles down the road, you're not going to say, man, I regret what happened back there. No, that got me to here. So I learned from that. It's not a regret, you know, it's a teaching lesson.
Yeah, I agree. And that, you know, I did my first speaking gig yesterday, and the other day, Tuesday. And
oh, Brian popping the speaking
you know,
cherry.
but that's what it was, bro. It really was. I was like, hello, and I was there. But like, you know, I could have said, wait, I'm gonna speak in front of 70 like people my first time, and it's like, you know, I just did it because I would regret it. I'd be sitting here right now going, I just should have done that. Like, why didn't I do that? That would have been just cool to even try. Even if you totally fail, it's like, at least you tried.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, next point, live and breathe hard work.
Man, oh man, that's just, let's just be honest. If you want something in your life, if you want to be successful, whatever that definition is for you, no matter what, it is going to be hard work. You got to just believe you can do it, and then you got to put your freaking hat on.
You have to
take your
work
and twerk and get it done. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to go out there and fight for it and work your ass off. That's just it,
Yeah,
man.
I know. Honestly, it's kind of hard to even go into detail on hard work or like take it a step further, because hard work is so concrete.
Yeah.
It's so like raw. It's like hard work is hard work. I mean, that's what you do. Like, again, if you get something handed to you, you didn't learn how to work hard to get that, let alone maintain it. So the really hard work is probably our shortest point here, because if you're not willing to do the work, then, you know, you're probably not going to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish in your life.
If you're not willing to do the hard work, then your dreams will never come true. That's just it.
There you go. Boom, drop the mic. Podcast's over. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks for hanging out. All right. Oh, man. Live like there's no tomorrow. Boy, oh boy, I love that one. I think that it goes back to a lot of what we've already said, but really I think that's more of a mindset one. It's kind of like tomorrow's never guaranteed, so just live hard, live fierce, live happy. You know, it kind of goes down the list of everything that we talked about for me.
And, you know, I could actually quote something from the Bible here, and it says that, you know, do not worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough worries of itself. Focus on the present, okay? You're not defined by your past. Focus on the present. Have an idea about the future, but don't take a step forward into tomorrow, because, again, tomorrow will come and you can handle everything that needs to come at that point in time. So just live as if there is no tomorrow. Again, do everything that you can. Personal management, like Brian says, I actually really like that. Because, again, we can't manage time, and I love that you brought that up. It's only what we can do from 6 in the morning till, you know, 10 or 11 at night before tomorrow actually comes. So you just do what you need to do today, and don't worry about tomorrow.
Yeah, and just really quick, since, you know, I studied under John Maxwell. He wrote a book, I think it's called Today Counts, but it really, really does. And when he says that, or it's like today matters, it's one of those. But today does matter. And if tomorrow's not guaranteed, you know, at least you've done everything you could today. So if when tomorrow comes, you're more prepared. You're in a better position for success. You push the needle forward. You're ready to go. Like, That's why I think too many people are like, I'll get to it tomorrow, or I'll procrastinate, I'll push it off till tomorrow. It's like, no, like, why don't you just do that today? And just do it today, and then I bet tomorrow you're going to be in a better mood, you're going to feel better, your attitude's going to improve. Today really does matter because tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Right. All right, we have 2 more points that we're going to go over. This one, actually, we kind of already talked about a little bit, but the one thing I wanted to bring up on this one is live upon waking to when you fall asleep. And I think that the thing that comes to mind on this is that, you know, every minute counts of every single day. So when you wake up in the morning, we talked about this before, you do need to start your day from a higher place of strength. Don't start your day, you know, going through the motions or whatever. Like the minute you wake up, have an attitude of gratitude and, you know, drink your coffee, have a healthy breakfast, do what you need to do, meditate, and make sure that you are making every minute count of that day so that you are truly living, you know, from the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I don't have a lot to say because we really did cover that. It's putting that time in while you're awake, while you're present, while you're here, and just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. That's what it's about, you know?
Yeah. Yep, this last one, you know, live a life that breathes life into others. I would say that is the reason why we're doing this podcast. And I think it's our final point to discuss, and I think it's very important because, you know, I did say that we're doing our podcast for us too, because this helps, you know, Brian and I, it's like our journal of our everyday life, but we want to pay it forward and help lift up the lives of those that are listening, that are watching. We want to make a positive impact. So when we say live a life that breathes life into others, what we're doing right now, we want it to be contagious. We want people to feel our energy that are listening and watching. We want you to be inspired and motivated so that we're actually breathing this life into you. And if you've been feeling shitty lately, you're like, you know what, I've been watching Mike and Brian's podcast, and you know what, I'm feeling energized. That's our mission.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's, you know, I say this all the time, but like EQ over IQ. Like I am a self-proclaimed doctor of emotional intelligence, and really,
Dr. Benson.
You have to care about others. It's plain and simple, and you know what? Maybe that's a personal thing, but I care so deeply about other people that it's just insane, and I care so. Call me crazy, but I just love seeing other people become successful. I am a servant leader. I believe I'm a servant for people. I believe that I'm here to extract information from others and share it in my own way. But everything that Mike and I do, like, I just truly believe I'm a vehicle for information to help others. And that's plain and simple for me. I just think that if I can breathe more life into others and help others and see others become successful, then that fulfills me in a way that I can't even describe.
I love that. Yeah, that's hard to actually say anything after you just saying that. I mean, we could end it on that. The one thing I want to say before we get down to the end here to our challenge and health tip is that I truly don't think that there is a very highly successful person that got there to their position without breathing life into others, without bringing value and adding value to someone else's life, without filling a void, you know, or having an awesome service that takes care of somebody. You know what I mean? I mean, I think that in order to be truly successful in all areas of life, to be a successful, you know, husband, father, mother, whatever, brother, you know, businessman, you need to be lifting up the lives of those that are around you.
Yeah, 100%, brother, 100%. All right, let's dive right into the challenge for the day. Listen up, everybody. I want you to pick one of those points that we talked about today and do it. And do it to your fullest ability. So live in the moment. Live passionately. Live fiercely, happily, loudly. Live with no regrets, please. That's just one that should just be like a given. Yeah. You know, hard work. Dig into that hard work. Live and breathe hard work. You know, live like there's no tomorrow. Live upon waking till you go to sleep, and then breathe life into somebody. So, you know, or breathe, you know, service or whatever that is, but do one of those things. Just go out and live fiercely today. You know, do something you're super passionate about. Or go live in the moment. Go spend time with somebody that you love and that you care about and stay in that moment. Throw the phone away for a minute. put the technology down and just be with that person in that moment. Or if you want, meditate with yourself, whatever. But go and do one of those points.
There you go. All right, we'll finish up with the health tip. The $1,000,000 question is...
How do you get these abs? How do you get abs like this, baby? Oh,
oh brother. So that's the $1,000,000 question, is how you get abs. And usually the first machine that most people go to when they go to the gym is usually the abdominal machine. A beginner will immediately go in and think that doing crunches is burning calories. Doing crunches doesn't burn any calories at all. Again, the quote that we use is that abs are made in the kitchen. What I mean by that is that the healthier you eat, the better your chances are of having a visible six-pack. Now, we all have a six-pack, okay? We all have, yeah, that's my point.
You guys
we
saw
all
it.
have a
Somewhere in
six-point. Now, I don't know if we saw that six-pack on Brian that he just showed
It's
us or not.
it's tucked behind a few blankets.
Well, I have to do a little spray tan or something, but zoom
Hey, can
tan.
we draw these
999.
on?
But my point is that you need to get to a low enough body fat percentage so that you can visibly see your abs. So you need to burn off the external layer of fat that is covering your abs. So again, you could do 1,000 crunches a day and never ever have a visible six-pack, because you got to burn that layer of fat off. 1, by eating healthy, 2, by lifting weights and building your metabolism, and 3, by doing cardio. Okay, so again, abs are important. To do abs, to keep your core nice and strong, your stomach and your back, and your hips. But again, if you're really truly trying to see your abs, you need to get down to a low enough body fat percentage by eating healthy. So abs are made in the kitchen. Stop doing all these crunches and do a lot of the bigger exercises that burn more calories and work more muscle groups.
I love it. I love it. All right, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. We love you so much. We can't wait to see you guys next time. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you all on the next episode. And now I'm going to take my shirt off for everybody because we're getting abs in this joint. Ah! Ah!